Today we are going to see the 104th stotra. Bhur-bhuva swastarustara savita prapitamahaha yajno yajnapadir yajva yajnango yajnavahanaha. First one is Bhur-bhuva swastaru. Bhur-bhuva swastaru. Bhur means the three Vyahrutis are called Bhu, Bhuva and Swa. So they are the essence of Vedas. The three main essence of the Vedas or Vyahrutis. They are called Bhu, Bhuva and Swa. That's why Bhagavan is called Bhur, Bhuva, Swasta. That means one who is snapped in the tree of life that is existing in all the universe of the higher world, our world and the lower world. So there are three worlds existing. One is the upper world, Akasham, there is a world, Swarga, and our world. Then there is a world under, that is called Patala. So these three words are defined by Bhu, Bhuva and Swa. So the Vedic, famous Vedic terms, Bhu, Bhuva and Swa, they are denoting the three lokas or the three Vedas. So this loka means the field of experience. That's why these three terms are called Vyahritis. And it represents our experience in three states that we always mention. One is walking, two is dream, and third one is deep sleep. So these are the state of consciousness that a man will be undergoing every day. Sleep, walking and dream. That is walking, dream and deep sleep. And this constant yajna which will nourish and nurture the universe, because through experience we learn, just like through mistakes we learn. So the Bhagavan, who is the infinite self, the glorious essence, the Bhagavan is pervading in the entire tree of life that is in the universe, which is giving us the flowers. These flowers are the beings, and these flowers are experiencing all the plane of consciousness. So through these beings, everywhere, Bhagavan is there in the everything at all times. That's why Bhagavan is called Bhur Bhuva Swa. That is walking, sleep, dream and deep sleep. So all the three lokas, Swarga, our Bhumi and Padala. That's why Bhagavan is called Bhu, Bhuva and Swa. Next one is Tara. Tara means usually we denote this as the power who helps the Jiva, that is the body. And inside the body there is a soul, that consciousness to go across the ocean of samsara and reach the Vaikuntham and attain moksha. That's why Bhagavan is called Tara, because Bhagavan helps every beings to cross over. That is, he is like a boatman where the devotees can surrender with full faith and full devotion, true devotion. So Bhagavan will make them row across the ocean of samsara. That's why Bhagavan is called Tara. And it is only for the uh, devoted meditation that a devotee is doing. And the devotee should understand the power of Bhagavan. and we should wake up to the higher plane. Only we will reach the higher plane when we know much of the Bhagavan. And our attitude to the experience of eternal Brahma will change as we know more about the Bhagavan. Next one is Savita. Savita means Bhagavan is the power who has the greatest power to generate all the worlds. World. That means it is not the Bhuloga. He is capable of creating all the worlds. So that's why he is called the father of all. That is the eternal father of the all the universe, entire universe. That's why Bhagavan is called Savita. Next one is Prapita Mahaha. Prapita Mahaha means Bhagavan is the father of Brahma, and that's why he is considered to be the grandfather of all. That means who is above the Brahma. So Bhagavan is the father of all the beings, even the creator Brahma of the Trinity. Trinity means three. That is Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. And Bhagavan is himself created from the absolute self. That's why Bhagavan is called Pita Maha, because he is the creator of the creator. So he is called Prapita Maha. Pita Maha, Prapita Maha and all are denoted as grandfathers. Also is the creator of the universe. Next one is Yajna. Yajna means Bhagavan himself is in the form of Yajna. Yajna means the puja or whatever dedication we are giving to Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is the very nature of Yajna. Means the work or the effort that is taken by the pure spirit of a devotee with total dedication and in complete cooperative with the mind, and it should be total selflessness, then that yajna will be a success. That's why Bhagavan is giving the fruits for all our actions through whatever we are doing with our mind. That most important part is selflessness. That's why Bhagavan is called Yajna. Next one is Yajnapati. Yajnapati means Pati means the protector or master. Yajna means all the dedication to Bhagavan that we are doing. So Bhagavan is the master or the protector of every devotee who is doing it. That's why he is called Yajnapati. Bhagavan is the Lord of all the yajnas. Bhagavan is the enjoyer in self-dedicated cooperative yajna. And Bhagavan enjoys with the joyous words that is coming at the time of yajna from the devotee. So he is called the enjoyer and the Lord of the yajnas. That's why Bhagavan is called Yajnapati. Next one is Yajwa. Yajwa means Bhagavan is manifesting himself as the performer of the yajna. Because for the yajna and yagam and all, we have to give the charge to a very big priest or yogi who is dedicating their life through the rituals and all the rules to do the yajna or the karma or the puja that we are giving. So Bhagavan is himself. Once we reach certain level, we turns ourselves into Bhagavan, or Bhagavan power gets increased. So when we keep on telling slokas, keep on remembering Bhagavan, we will get one power. Slowly it will increase because that is a Bhagavan inside us is increasing. So that's why Bhagavan is called Yajwa, who he himself is performing the yajna. So, Yajwa means one who performs the yajna according to the strict prescriptions that is shown in the Vedas. And it can be done only by someone who maintains the divine action in true yajna spirit. That only Bhagavan can do. So that's why the priest is someone we are giving most respect, because they are the next step of Bhagavan. They themselves are Bhagavan, because their all focus will be only Bhagavan. Next one is Yajnanga. Yajnanga means Angam. Angam means parts. Yajnanga means each and every part, all the part of the body is dedicated to the yajna. Like the Varaha Avataram, all the part of the body is used to protect the earth. In the same way, when we do yajna, all the part of the body will be focused only on the power of Bhagavan. So that's why we have to be very careful in following the rules in a yajna. Any small mistake can lead to a very big punishment. So that's what the limbs that we are using for the yajna are called anga, yajnanga. So the for the Sri Narayana, whatever or yajna we are doing, we should be very cautious and careful. So that's why we will be very careful in selecting the date and selecting the place, location, everything in a very careful way. Even the invitees will be selected in a very careful way. Next one is Yajna Vahana. Vahana means the vehicle. So Yajna Vahana means, Yajna means the puja. So Vahana means one who, what is Vahana? What is a vehicle? Because vehicle is something that supports us to take from one place to another. So Yajna Vahana means something that supports the Yajna to give the fruit for the correct person who deserve it. So that is Bhagavan. So Bhagavan fulfills the devotee's yajna to complete an exact accord to whom the fruit should be reached to, and it will be done according to the Vedic instructions. That's why it's called Yajna Vahana. That means the people, place, and our mind, our emotions, everything should be very well controlled at the time of yajna, and our mind should not be deviated, and all the mantras should be pronounced correctly at the time of yajna. That's why the Vedic mantras are very powerful, and we should learn in a correct way, because this Vishnu Sahasranamam is the most simple one. Even we pronounce it in another way, Bhagavan will not take it wrongly. He accepts whatever we tell. But Vedic mantras are powerful mantra that we have to learn very carefully. So only men will be given that opportunity to learn the Vedas, because according to our structure, men are more stronger in telling the Vedas. For Vedas, we should have extra power that should come, the sound should come from the Nabhi. Nabhi means from the inner stomach, because ladies have uterus and other things, they are weak. So they cannot pronounce the same way as a men can do, because they cannot take the sound from the Nabhi. Only men can take it. So that's why whenever we say Yajnas, Veda Mantram and all, we will see the male will be doing it, because they are strong and firm in telling the mantras that should be pronounced correctly with the inner stomach. So these have to be very carefully done, because one small mistake can lead to the punishment to the entire generations, to generations after generations. So we have been learning the namams Bhur Bhuva Swastaru Thara Savita Prapitamaha Yajna Yajnapati Yajwa Yajnanga Yajna Vahana. So we will be reaching 975th namam of Bhagavan. Bhur Bhuva Swastarustara Savita Prapitamaha Yajno Yajnapadir Yajwa यज्ञाङ्गो यज्ञवाहनः